How did we ever come into this room and not know that it was a kitchen?
I remember at 3 a.m. one night, Philip was like, why are we not putting the kitchen in this big room? Which we had zero plans for, because in our head, because we hadn't lived here yet, the kitchen was just gonna go where we knew the kitchen once was, which now will be our laundry pantry walk-in space that comes right off of this huge space that's now our kitchen, eat-in dining room, which opened up the room for us to have an art studio in the dining room, gave us our laundry pantry room, and this spot where our family can enjoy. But this room had a lot that needed to be done.
It had nothing. We had to add the electrical, the plumbing,
flooring,
oh my gosh,
counters, sinks, faucets, pantries, accent wall, wood stove.
Yeah, you name it, we had to
built
add
a custom island, DIY'd our cabinets, framed up the
We finished
windows.
the table.
There isn't a square inch of this room that we haven't done. We even scraped the beams that were here and installed the LED lighting, did our own hardware, literally every square inch, including the outlet covers for the light fixtures. Like everything in this room needed to be done. So I think that when you see the reveal on tomorrow's episode of start to finish of this huge project, you're going to be amazed at just how much we accomplished completely on our own. We only had 2 tradesmen in doing the plumbing and electrical. They both spent just a couple of hours here making sure that those things were done to code. Everything else, Philip and I taught ourselves how to do it just by watching YouTube videos. That's how I came up with how to build the cabinets. Zero cabinet experience before this.
Yeah, I've never built a cabinet before this, so you know, it was a learning curve for Elysia and I both, but YouTube helped us through step by step, and I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous.
We're standing here today just being like amazed really when we just look back at where we started in this space and really where our home started just a year ago, buying this late 1800s abandoned home. And we are putting all of our heart into this space because this is going to be our dream home when we're completed. And this kitchen is just a slight glimpse into some of the projects that we're doing. So if you're new to our channel and you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's free. Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where you get to see the entire duration of this project and our final reveal.
Hit subscribe to officially become a YouTube family member.
Okay, so today we have some work to do so we can get ready for our final reveal tomorrow. So make sure you turn on your notifications for tomorrow and let's get working. When we were first moving here, we had nothing on any of the windows, obviously because the previous family abandoned this home. And so the first thing I wanted to do was put some blinds up just to cover some of these front windows of the house that faced more of the openness on the outside. And so we put up these bamboo curtains and they were kind of just temporary and I honestly wasn't sure if I was gonna love them or not. Now that we have them, we love them. So we're gonna leave them in this space and I think they tie in with the colors of the beams and the island stains. So we're gonna have them just on the front here and then leave those back windows for now open on either side of the oven since that faces the back where we don't get any foot traffic or anything. But I need to take them down because we need to get these windows framed up and finish painting the space.
Also, I don't know if we've shown, but the beams in this room are absolutely gorgeous. There's 3 of them.
This room was obviously an addition at some point. One of the families that was here doing work at some point over the last 130 plus years that the house has been here. We don't know which of the last few families built this room addition, but luckily they did because it's now the heart of our home. It's like the wing nuts that never end.
What'd you call me?
I am nowhere near the end.
Sunrise in West Virginia, sleep talking on the front porch, running barefoot to a creek.
When you're working with an older house, things are not always to the measurements that you would assume that they would be.
No.
So to be able to frame these windows in, I can't just use your standard 1x3s like I use for the back windows. I need to pre-measure these and rip them with a table saw. Kind of a pain, just an extra step, but it's gonna be perfect when we're finished. So we're gonna do that now before the rain comes because I'm certain that today we're gonna get rained out. So any cutting I wanna do now.
In the
So with our big kitchen reveal tomorrow, I thought that I would share with you the truth about our kitchen renovation. So everyone has been asking through this entire process if we're really gonna share the true numbers on what everything cost us and how we actually made this dream of ours to build our own kitchen a reality. And the truth is, the original kitchen that we were going to order was going to cost approximately $36,000. Not including a wood stove, because that wasn't even in the plan then, because it wasn't going to be in the same space that we're working in right now. That didn't include the appliances. That was just our counters, our cabinets, the hardware for the cabinets, the handles for the cabinets, and a small island. Makes me want to vomit when I think about it now. But when we bought the house, we thought we would put the big part of our budget for renovating the house into the heart of the home. Thank goodness it was so delayed, and it didn't show up, and it didn't show up, and after 10 months, we had no ETA, and we were luckily able to get our deposit back. Thank goodness. So what we did was we took half of the deposit for the kitchen and challenged ourselves to be able to build ourselves a DIY kitchen with an eat-in in a space that's twice, if not 3 times the size of where the original kitchen was going to go, but not sacrifice any of the elements that we really wanted in the kitchen. And before we even talk about the prices of everything, I want to say that I would absolutely today, hands down, not like the original design that I had planned for the kitchen. When we first got here, I thought I wanted blue coastal cabinets on the lowers, more of like a butcher block top countertops, and then white uppers with black hardware. Very different from what we have today, and now that we've lived in the house, we kind of know more about what style we want everything to be in, and that would have not fit the vintage vibe that we truly do love deep down. It would have been completely different than that. So it was a blessing in disguise. So sometimes in the moment you don't know why something's not working out, but in the long run, it was the best decision that things kind of went that way. Okay, so what did we ultimately spend on the kitchen? I'm over budget, but just slightly, and I'm gonna explain why. And this isn't like one of those home shows where you're over budget by like $100,000. I'm only over budget $125, and in all fairness, it wasn't entirely my fault either. We had a discrepancy on how much square footage was in the boxes for the tile for the backsplash. So my overages of $125 approximately was a few extra tiles that we had to buy at full price, some grout and mortar. So here is the breakdown for the kitchen. We spent a total of, these numbers are all estimated to the nearest 10, just to make things a little bit more simply. So it's give or take just a couple dollars, but I figured out exactly our full total was $5,125. We spent a total of $700 on countertops. That sounds like a lot to me for countertops because our countertops, some of the ones we were able to pick up at IKEA, were pretty inexpensive, but we did order a custom piece for our island. We wanted it to be deeper than 2 feet in the actual depth, and we needed it to be 8 feet long. So since that was ordered custom from a hardware store, it was going to be more money than if we got a standard slab piece from IKEA or something. So that to me seemed like a huge chunk out of our $5,000 budget, but it was so worth it. And we're really happy that we went for that extra size for the island now that everything's all said and done. We spent a total of $1,400 on wood, and that is including the kitchen, laundry, pantry room the kitchen and the laundry pantry room together. So everything that I'm telling you for numbers here, I've included both spaces because the materials were ordered for this room, and then I was able to make those materials last through both rooms. We spent $125 on a faucet. The other faucet that I got for the pantry room was $40. We are a total of $460 with our 2 farmhouse sinks, $80 for LED lighting, $320 for hardware. That is our hinges for all of the cabinets and handles for all the spaces. We spent $120 on paint and gold spray paint. We spent $60 to restore our dupe of a table that we got from the brick when we moved here because it needed to be salvaged to fit back in the space. We spent $110 on additional wood to create the accent on our island. We had loose ends of about $50, which was brad nails, caulking, grout sealer, outlet covers, things that we needed for this space that weren't here when we first did it. We needed to replace some saw blades for the tools that we needed to complete this project, as well as buy a pocket jig set, which it became the pocket jig queen along the way, was approximately $200. We spent $200 on tile and grout and mortar for the space, and we had to pay 2 tradesmen, a plumber and electrician. We're both very close to the $300 mark for that. We didn't have a ton to do for that, luckily, but we did have to have the proper outlets, and even though maybe we could have done that work, you want someone licensed to do that. One of our biggest expenses for this room was the addition of our wood stove, which was $700 for us to be able to do that and get the additional piping that we need to create the chimney also going outside. We were able to buy both of our wood stoves at the same time, so this is just the wood stove for this space. Luckily, we got it on sale, but still a $700 chunk out of that $5,000 budget. So I think all in all, I'm pretty darn impressed with my budgeting skills, I have to say.
Yeah.
Being able to add the accent wall with the tile, the homesteading vibe for the wood stove, build all of our own cabinets, custom size island with all of the accents and everything. The flooring, oh, did I say the flooring's right? The flooring was $275. And we ordered flooring for the entire house all at once, so I divided the square footage to get the exact amount of flooring that we needed for this room and the pantry laundry room. So 4 rooms, technically, laundry room, pantry room, eat-in, dining room, and kitchen room, $5,125.
I would say under 5,000. I would say under 5,000.
So that extra grout, mortar, and tiles was just because of the errors that were on the boxes getting that tile for the back that I got for less than $1 a tile.
Yeah.
And the sink that we did for the farmhouse part for the island here, we had approximately $300 actually that I could technically subtract from this because it was on an IKEA gift card, but I thought it was only fair to say in the budget that that money was spent, even though it didn't technically come out of our pocket right now during this renovation. We had a few things to return, so I swapped it for a dream sink. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. So let me know, if you've done a kitchen renovation, how much did it cost? What was your most expensive item that you had to put in? What is something in your kitchen that you absolutely would have splurged with your budget on? When you did your kitchen design, did you have to sacrifice anything in your design to stay in the budget that you had? I want to hear all about your own kitchen renovations in the comment section. And I think tomorrow, when you see the final reveal of the kitchen, you're going to be pretty impressed that we were able to stay on budget, and you haven't even got to see the finish for the laundry pantry room yet, which I think as we walk through and tie the 2 rooms together when they're both completed, it's going to blow your mind. So pretty excited. But thank you so much for cheering us on. I know I say it in every video, but ultimately you guys on the other end is what keeps us so inspired on our end and so motivated and gives me the girl power to be like, I'm going to build my own kitchen. And I know I have Philip here to help me, but this has literally been a dream come true. So I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't miss tomorrow's episode because it is going to blow you away.